Right, greetings everyone. This is Nesa again, and this is the third in the series of short videos about parts of speech for English grammar. So today, the item I want to address is pronouns. Now, a brief definition for pronouns is pronouns are words which are used in the place of nouns. And in this instance, I want to explain to you the 7 types of pronouns. Alright, the first one I would like to draw your attention to is something called personal pronouns. So it refers to a person or people and can also refer to something. So for personal pronouns, you can have them as subjects in a sentence. Examples of personal pronouns which are subjects in a sentence. When I say subject in a sentence, it means the focus of the sentence. So examples of subject personal pronouns are I, you, she, he, it, you, and we. Now those that are objects in a sentence, that means in the second half of a sentence. Examples of personal pronouns which are object personal pronouns are me, you, her, him, it, you, and us. Right, the second one I would like to tell you about is something called demonstrative pronouns. These are words which help to point to something or identify something. So they can point to or identify a noun or another pronoun. Examples of demonstrative pronouns are these words: this and that, these and those. Right, sorry, that should have been those. Right, so this is singular or uncountable, and that is for singular or uncountable items, whereas these and those are for plural items. Right, so the third type I want to tell you about is interrogative pronouns. That comes from the word interrogation, which means to ask something. So interrogative pronouns are used to ask questions. For example, you can use who or whom for people, whereas which are used to ask questions about things and animals. Right, the fourth type of pronoun I want to tell you about are relative pronouns. This means their relationship to something else. They are used to link one phrase or clause to another phrase or clause. What is meant by phrase? Phrase means 2 or 3 words. For example, the words to link one could be a phrase. You have 3 words and that is a phrase. A clause has a minimum of 1 subject and 1 verb in it. So relative pronouns can be used to link one phrase or clause to another phrase or clause. Example words for relative pronouns are who, whom, that, and which. and also whoever, whomever, and whichever. Right, the fifth type of pronouns I would like to let you know about are indefinite pronouns. So indefinite means something that is not specific or unspecified. Can be to a person, referring to a person or a thing. So you can see that there's quite a long list there. All, another, any, anybody, anyone, anything, each, everybody, everyone, everything, few, many, nobody, none, one, several, some, somebody, and someone. Right, the sixth group that I would like to tell you about is reflexive pronouns. These are words which refer back to a subject in a clause or sentence. Examples of these when singular are myself, yourself, herself, himself, and itself. When it is plural, notice that the spelling is with VES and not LF when it is singular. So when they are plural, the examples are ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. Right, so for example, you could have a sentence like I built the house myself. So I is the subject and myself refers to the subject I. Alright, the last one here is intensive pronouns. This is used to emphasize something. For example, I myself, or they themselves, and you yourself. Now the words seem exactly the same as the ones here in the sixth group, and you're right, the words are same. But if you notice here, it comes immediately after the subject, I myself. So if the earlier example I gave you was I built the house myself. So the word myself comes at the end of the sentence, for example. But here, if you are using it as an intensive pronouns for emphasis, you could say I myself built the house. Now I know that this seems a bit confusing because the same word is called by different terms. And if you look in different books, you might find different terms for the same words. So try not to worry too much about the terms or the exact definitions, but just try to understand what is meant. Right, with this it comes to the end of this short video about pronouns, and I do hope that you find it useful.